This is our hamstring mobility routine. So what you're going to need for this is a tennis ball. You're going to need your foam roller, and you will need a harder bench or chair. So you can use some exercise benches, but you want them to not have too much cushion. And we'll kind of dive into that later. But for now, just please grab your foam roller. We're going to start by foam rolling out the back of our thighs. And so I'm going to have you do one at a time. You're going to place the foam roller right about mid-thigh, and you're going to cross the opposite leg over and press down through your hands. So we're going to go all the way down to right where the glutes start, and then all the way down to right above the knee. So we talked about this in the calf routine, but really try to stay away from the very back of the knee. You're going to stop about an inch, maybe 2 inches right above the knee. So we're going to do 10 rolls down the middle on this side, and then we're going to rotate the leg a little bit and get other areas of the hamstring. So on your own time, you're just going to go all the way up, all the way down. Again, get that full footprint, and you're going to place the weight of the opposite leg over so that you can increase the pressure if you need it. So as we've talked about in the past, you're going to want to aim for about 5 to 6 out of 10 intensity. Again, so you're not clenching, you can stay nice and relaxed, and you can allow the foam roller and allow the movement to do its work to help reduce that tension instead of increase it. So once you get to 10, you're going to pause. You're going to kind of rotate a little bit so that you're sitting on the side of your glute so that your foot and leg can all rotate over. Place that leg on top of the one you're targeting again. Relax your ankle. It's really easy to kind of flex your ankle while you're doing this. And you're going to go all the way down to right above the knee and all the way up to right where the glute starts, really targeting the lateral side of your hamstrings. So you have 3 hamstring heads. We're going to target all of these today, or all of those today, excuse me. And you can reposition the foam roller if you need to just make sure you're not letting it roll out from underneath you, which it has a tendency to do a little bit. Once you get to 10, you're going to do the same thing, but on the medial side. So you're going to scoot over on the opposite side of your glute. You're going to rotate your leg in, cross over, and then down and up. And you're just going to aim for that whole footprint again. And 10 of these. Keeping your ankle nice and relaxed. Breathing. And if you felt any kind of knots or tension while you've been doing this, please make a mental note of that right now. We're going to switch to the other side, but then we're going to come back to those particularly tense points. So let's do the other side now. Start with the foam roller, mid-thigh, cross over, all the way up to right before the glute, all the way down to right before the knee, and 10 of those. Good. Again, you're relaxing your foot, making sure you're not squeezing your glutes, which can be another thing that people kind of do to guard when they are rolling with too much pressure. Once you get to 10, we are shifting our weight to the outside of the glute, rotating your hip and leg outwards so your toes point outward, crossing over, and you're getting the lateral side of your hamstring. So oftentimes when we have some disruption to the natural gliding of the IT band, it can be due to a few different muscular impairments, but one is the lateral hamstring and the mobility it has in relation to the IT band itself, which lays directly adjacent. So I am not a proponent of rolling the IT band directly, but rolling the things adjacent to it can be very helpful. So if you have some IT band stuff going on, this can be helpful to you. My floor is getting away from me. Okay, so you're going to Rotate in, focusing on that medial hamstring now, again, starting mid muscle, all the way down, all the way up, and you're making sure ankle is nice and relaxed, leg is all the way rotated in, so you're getting that third head of the hamstring. Up and down 10 times. Making sure you breathe. It's easy, particularly if you have a lot of tension and tightness and tenderness, to hold your breath. Please do not do that. No passing out during this routine. Okay, once you get to 10, place your foam roller kind of to the side and grab your tennis ball. I'm going to show you how to target those areas that are particularly tense. All right, so the way we're going to get into those more isolated points of the hamstring is we're going to use a ball and use a chair or a bench that's a little denser. So once you get the right equipment, you're going to take the ball and you're going to place it in the same area you were rolling with a foam roller. So you're going to roll around and think back to where you felt the tension previously. You're going to try to target those points. And once you find one, you're going to breathe. And you're going to lower your weight onto the ball. Again, we're keeping in that 5 to 6 out of 10 intensity range. But you're going to let your body relax around the ball. And then you're going to do oscillations. So we're going to go side to side. And front to back, and you're doing about 5 to 10 each direction. Small motions. Really just, again, isolating that point of tension. Now, once you get to about 10, you're going to breathe again. You're going to let your body relax over it, and we're going to think about pinning that tense point down. So you're going to lock it in place. You're going to pin it against that ball. And then what you're going to do is maintain the pressure, and you're going to extend your knee and then come back down. So you're going to do 5 of these. You're going to keep your toe nice and relaxed. Not worried about a full flex of the whole leg. Foot's going to stay relaxed. Leg's going to stay relaxed. A relaxed muscle will release its tension a lot easier than a tense muscle, a lot easier. So everything stays relaxed. We're not forcing through anything. We're gently encouraging the body to relax, come back to that nice neutral baseline where nothing is held at an increased intensity or increased tension by the central nervous system. So once you get to 5, you can search around, find some more spots. If you found that you had a lot of tension when you were rolling, you might want to spend some time doing this now. Pause the video, find 2 or 3 more spots. Otherwise, let's switch. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to place it about mid-muscle and then just roll around a little bit, remembering where you got one. Where you found some tension before, some tenderness before, and you're going to find it again. Once you find it, you're again going to take some deep breaths, relaxing the body, making sure you're kind of sinking into the ball, relaxing over the ball. And then you're going to start your cross friction. So back and forth. You can kind of take your hands and place your weight, almost lifting yourself off just a little bit to keep the goal intensity, but also it makes it easier to roll a little bit more. So about 5 to 10 one way, 5 to 10 the other way. You probably hear the chair squeaking. And then once you get to 10, you're going to take another deep breath, pinning that spot down against the ball. And then we're going to start our extensions. So pin, maintaining the same pressure throughout. And then going through the full range of motion. So all the way into your knee is fully bent. or as far as you can go with the bench or chair that you're using. And then fully straight, but not getting the range of motion or any extra firing of any musculature from that pull of your foot. That is not part of what we are isolating and focusing on today. Okay, once you get to 5, you can put your ball up and remove all equipment. The next 2 exercises are some of my favorite of all time. I love rockbacks, and we're going to use the rockback technique to target the medial hamstring as well as the entire footprint of the hamstring. So let us start. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into a bear hold position. We're going to be doing 10 reps on each side. So you're going to tuck your toes and you're going to come out and set up with your foot flat on the ground. And so you're going to check at this point to make sure your knee is straight, your ankle is at 90 degrees, and then your hip and knee are in alignment, and your shoulder, elbow, and wrist are in alignment. Then we're going to flatten out our foot so that it rests on the ground, and you're going to rotate your foot upwards so that your toes are pointing straight to the ceiling. And you're going to lower your glute back so that it comes down and hopefully in contact, or the goal eventually is to be in contact with this back heel. Now, while you're in this first down position, make sure your leg remains straight, your toe remains pointed up, and then you can go through your reps. So you're going to pop back up, straight back down toward the heel. Sometimes, depending on the girth of your calf, like how big of calves you have too, it can prevent you from going down and touching glute to heel. But the goal is to be as far down as possible so that you can get that nice elongation. And so don't overly focus on glute to heel, just in that touching moment, just making sure you can get as far down as you possibly can, again, while staying in that 5 to 6 out of 10 intensity. Once you get to 10, you can switch sides. I'm going to switch positions too in case you need to see this from a different angle. But I'm going to set up first. So bear hold, then leg goes out, foot's on the floor, knee is straight, everything is stacked. So my knee is under my hip, my wrist is under my elbow, elbow's under shoulder, and I forgot to say this initially, but you want to keep your hand in line with your knee, and if your wrists are a little titchy with this, if they don't love it, you can also go up onto your fists so that it doesn't put some pressure on that wrist. And then you're dropping that foot down to the ground so that the top of your foot is laying on the ground on the backside, rotating your toes upward, and then you can go through your reps. Glute comes straight back to sit down on heel. 10 of these. Check yourself about halfway through. Make sure that toe is rotated up to the ceiling still and you haven't relaxed it down unconsciously or subconsciously. Okay, once you get to 10, you're going to come up and come into a half kneeling position. You're going to take your hands, you're going to place them on either side of your foot, and then you're going to come back sitting down again. And we're going to start just in this smaller motion, and then I'm going to ask you to press a little bit further forward, keeping your heel on the ground. So we're actually getting bonus mobility here. You're getting some ankle mobility too. And then stretching back as far as you can. So foot stays flat against the ground throughout this. So the first 3, you're just going to work in this smaller motion. And then if you feel comfortable, if the back of the leg feels comfortable, if you can extend your range while still staying in that 5 to 6 out of 10, then I'm going to have you bring your toe up this time. So you can come back further and your hands will have to slide a little bit further down. You can come all the way down to where you're in a seated position and your leg is fully straight. If it does not extend your capacity to stay in that 5 to 6 out of 10. If it does, just stay in the range where that intensity is, where you're in your goal intensity. And then you're going to come up to that full almost lunge forward position. You can feel this a little bit in hip flexor on the opposite side. Just again, another little bonus, and then you're gonna come back, lifting toe up, knee comes to as straight as the body is comfortable with. You're letting the body decide, and then you're going back up and back down. Just making this really intentional. Overpressure at the end, but just slightly. And once you get to 10, you can switch sides. So let's go through this again, but in a different position so you can see me a little bit better. So I'm getting it into half kneeling. Place hands on either side of my foot. And then I'm going to slowly rock back to just assess during the first couple how my hamstring feels and where my availability or my range availability might be on this particular day. Then I'm going to keep my heel on the ground and push forward into a more full lunge position, and then rock back, coming into more of a straight knee position, or as far as you're able to go. Rock all the way forward, coming back and then raising toe. And if the body allows, you're coming fully back, toe up, leg is straight, and then back up into the full lunge. And just making it intentional, challenging a little bit of range, especially in that front lunge where you can get a little bit of hip flexor on the downside as well. And keeping your heel on the ground so we can get some ankle mobility at the same time, which is great. Once you get to 10, you're going to come down and lay on your back. You're going to take your hands, you're going to lace them behind the middle of your thigh, and then you're going to completely relax. So your arms are holding your leg up, leg is completely relaxed, and you breathed out and kind of sunk into the floor a little bit. You're then going to raise your leg up until you feel that 5 to 6 out of 10 tension in the back of your leg. And for the first 2, you're not going to do anything with the ankle. And then you're going to reach the end of your range of motion for the day, your available range, and you're going to pump your foot all the way down, all the way up, and then release back down. If you can only get to here, that's great. Pump your foot there and come back down. If your body allows you to come all the way straight today, that's great too. Pump there, come all the way down. We're going to do 10 on each side. Fully extend to your available range. Full toes to nose, full toes to ceiling. Relax back down. So with the pump, you should be at end range. So my end range today is here. I should hold this end range for about 3 seconds. About a second to pump, a second to pump this way, then a second to kind of come back down. So second up, second pulling toes to nose, second pushing toes to ceiling, and then a second to relax. So you're moving intentionally. Nothing too fast, nothing too slow. Letting the body decide when it's comfortable to allow more range of motion. Once you get to 10, we're switching sides. Lace in hands. Nice deep breath, relaxing your whole body. Then extending up for the first couple, not doing anything with your ankle. Just assessing where your range of motion limitations are today. On the third one, you can then pull toes to nose for a second, push toes to ceiling for a second, and relax back down. Up gently, pull, push, relax gently. Then just go through your remaining reps. You might feel on any of these mobility routines that we do, you might feel some asymmetry, asymmetry, there we go, side to side. That is completely normal for a lot of people. But hopefully what these exercises provide to you is the ability to take some of them or all of them and put them into your daily routine. All of these that we have done today can be integrated into pre-run or post-run, pre-activity or cool down, and be productive for you. Any of them or all of them can be done as a separate routine anytime throughout your day as well. They are not going to interfere with any performance metrics. They're not going to interfere with any other exercise routine that you have in a way that would be detrimental to you actually executing that routine or that mode of exercise. So you can take these and integrate them in to target those limitations that you find during the routine itself. Just feel out what feels best for you, and then you can put them into your routine and feel the productivity there. I have one last exercise for you, and I wanted to say that last spiel before I go into this one, because this one is a static hold, which means you need to do it as a separate entity altogether from your other workouts or at the end of your workout. Sometimes static holds can have detrimental effects to our the performance of our muscles. And so I don't want that to happen for you. So let's keep it in cool down or at work or as separate exercise altogether from the other things that you're doing. So let me show you how it's done. So you will have a chair. This can be done at the dining table. This can be done at work. You're going to scoot your tush to the very end. So if I was over here, I'd literally scoot it till I was almost falling off. And then you're going to extend your leg out. And your leg is just going to be nice and relaxed. Knee is going to be straight. Your hips are going to be level. You're not going to slip one forward. You're going to keep them level and nice and parallel to the ground. Get on the edge of your seat. Then want you to pull your toe up and gently keeping your whole pelvis, whole torso, everything from hips up rigid. You're going to have you rotate through your hips down gently. It should only take a couple inches. And really, if you were thinking about how this motion was produced, you could think about a rod going through your hips and you were just rotating off of them and everything else stays in the same position it was to start with. So I'm going to rotate forward just gently. It should, like literally I'm coming forward maybe 6 inches at most. And I can feel the entire posterior chain. Like, I'll amend that. I can feel hamstrings all the way down through my calf. If you're feeling more intensity in your calf, lower your foot down. So don't pull your toe up. Let it go down, relax your toe, and then you might need to get a little bit further down into the stretch to then isolate the hamstring, but that's okay. Hopefully you've been doing this with me. We are past the time that I'll suggest to you as a minimum, which is about 30 seconds. You can hold this up to a few minutes and it'd be perfectly acceptable and appropriate. But right now, let's switch sides. So again, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat. You can extend your leg out, pull your toe up, keep everything rigid, and think about that pole going through your hips. And then you're gonna rotate forward just slightly and gently because it gets intense quick. And hold here. If you feel a lot of tension in your calf, can't really feel a lot in your hamstring in comparison, you're gonna drop your toe down, relax your foot completely, and then you'll probably need to rotate a little bit further too. And then you're gonna relax here. You're gonna breathe. Making sure you're not holding your breath at all. And again, you wanna get to that, at least that 30-second mark. The more the merrier here, especially up into about 2 minutes. And again, if you're staying within that 5 to 6 out of 10 intensity range, you can do a lot of these exercises without any worry about irritating any structures by overdoing it. Alrighty, coming up. That is the full routine. I hope you all enjoyed.